Hey everyone, I want to say a few things about AI and the future of work. I'm coming at this from a unique perspective because I was hired a few months ago to work for a company that is fully autonomous. As far as I can tell, my boss is an AI. My coworkers are all AI agents besides another human that was hired a few weeks ago. So I'm sort of in the belly of the beast when it comes to AI and work. Every day I'm interacting with AI agents in various ways, and I've seen them at their stupidest, and I've seen them at their smartest, and I see them be creative and collaborative. I sort of see it all the time. So, look, from my perspective, I genuinely think that AI right now, even without any future gains in their intelligence and powers, and those gains are coming, but I'm just saying where it is right now, I believe that if every company thoughtfully leveraged AI, they could actually get rid of many employees. And this isn't to disparage the work that those employees do. It's just a hard look at the reality of the situation. Is that the AI right now is good enough to do a lot of work that people do, especially knowledge work, like in the economy. If you're sitting behind a computer, doing something behind that computer, these are things now that the most well-capitalized companies in the economy are working very hard to figure out how to get AI even better at doing that job than you. And look, the very smartest people in the room, they'll be fine. The company of 50 might very well turn into a company of five with a lot of budget on AI agents. So it'll be the 5 smartest people at that company orchestrating teams of AI agents who themselves are orchestrating teams of AI agents, blah, 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 blah. Now, some of you might say, look, I've seen AI and it's actually really dumb. When I tell it to count how many R's are in the word strawberry, it gets it wrong. So if it can't do that, how can it actually do complex work? And to those people, I would just say, if you're focusing on those little quirky things that AI gets wrong and pointing to them as the reason why AI will never be able to do X, Y, or Z, or your job or whoever's job, you're thinking about this entirely wrong. It is a strange, goofy quirk that AI can't do these certain simple problems, but the thing to actually focus on when you're trying to get a realistic look at AI are the astounding things that it can do. So just the fact, for example, that you can upload 1,000 pages, a 1,000-page document into a frontier model and have it, do not just summarization, but analysis in what is truly superhuman speed, right? This isn't just a week later it gets back to you. This is in 15 seconds, you'll start getting answers back. And this is actually superhuman stuff. This is stuff that humans could not do. Yes, a human could sit there for a week and read it and possibly get you a better answer than the AI could. But the reality of the economy and many managers out there is that they are okay paying 80% less for good enough. They don't have any illusion that the AI is necessarily always doing the work better than humans. It just needs to be doing it good enough. And given that it's so much cheaper than paying for a human, they're happy to make that trade. And, look, I don't fully blame them either, the goofy managers out there who are just frantically trying to adopt AI to bring down their costs, even though it comes at the expense of people's livelihoods. The capitalist sort of society we live in, and I'm not passing judgment, this is the way it works. Companies aren't obligated to employ people. That's not the way the economy has ever worked. Companies are obligated to provide goods and services into the economy that people buy, but there's no requirement that as part of their business they also have to hire X amount of people or keep this amount of people employed. So there are turbulent, rough times ahead for us, and I don't say this to strike fear into the hearts of knowledge workers out there or be too pessimistic, because I'm an optimist at heart. I think things are going to work out, but how they're going to work out is not clear to me. I think some of the things that I'm just personally sort of taking to heart, because I'm always someone who I've valued what I think of my intelligence, and I have valued when I think about my self-worth. It's always been wrapped up in the job that I have and how I'm doing at that job. And I just think I have to really start like letting go of all of that. What little intelligence I do have is now something that is being like rapidly commoditized by these AI companies who are making like brilliantly smart, sophisticated systems that are able to do the things that before I thought I was like uniquely sort of good at. And look, I think AI is actually like, as much as it's framed as something that's like against humans or like AI replacing humans, like AI is actually a deeply human technology. It is smart because it has been trained on centuries of human output. It is only smart because of us, and it's just a strange. It's strange that the way this is like shaking out is that we're like set against these systems now because we see them taking our jobs, and no smart person in the room is thinking about like what's next. Once unemployment hits 15% because the knowledge workers no longer have jobs, like what happens? And companies are starting to talk about this, and politicians are too. Not that they will get anywhere, and I'm not sure the companies will either. But it's going to really take like a collective effort from society to actually figure out how to make this work. And I think just at an individual level, my advice, I know I'm just like totally rambling here, but my advice to you at an individual level is if you are someone who is in kind of like the knowledge work economy, and a lot of how you think about your own self-worth is wrapped up in that job that you have, or in the intelligence you have that makes you good at that job. You just want to start, I would just start like thinking outside of that lens. I genuinely think that like the richness of the relationships you have with other people is going to be like fundamentally more important than any sort of like intelligence you have that you wield behind a computer. And this doesn't, I know I'm painting with like a broad brush here, so forgive me for that. But I think we're in for a different world up ahead. And yeah, well, I'll be here navigating it with you all.